Good morning, trippers. Today is Friday the 14th of April, and as you saw from our episode yesterday, we ran into quite a few issues with tyres and whatnot, and it has ended up having to change our plans. So this morning or last night we had to pull up on the just in an area on the side of the Merinee loop because it was getting too late to continue on with the tyre situation as well, having just each changed our friends had to change their completely blown tyre, and we had to repair a tyre on the caravan. The air has held all night without changing, so it looks like the repair has worked. We'll know for sure once we start to head out on the road this morning. We need to head out really early this morning to try and get in as early as possible into Alice Springs to try and get our friend's tyre. He needs 2 new tyres before we can continue on, which does mean with our time limitations, we're going to have to cut out our portion to visit Palm Valley and Fink Gorge National Parks and that section along the McDonald Ranges. But, you know, it is what it is. We'll just have to come back another time and do those different adventures. This is far more important, and there is also a cyclone that's going to be hitting WA. Now, what happens when cyclones hit WA is they come inland, they lessen in their intensity once they hit Northern Territory region, but they almost always come across along the belt and into Alice Springs, and so Alice gets whatever's left over of the rains, and they are expected to be coming in starting today and into tomorrow. We've had it on advice from long-time friends of our friends that have lived up in these areas for more than 20 years that we need to be out and clear of Alice by tomorrow, before tomorrow preferably. So what the plan is that we'll go into Alice. Hopefully we can get these tyres fixed today, and we'll continue on and we'll see what things are like. Hopefully the road into the way that we might need to go into Mount Dare and into the Simpson, hopefully that's not going to be affected. The new way then would be from Alice down the Stewart Highway and crossing over at Fink Road, where on the corner is Colgera Pub again, and going down via Fink and into Mount Dare that way. So I don't know how the rains, if they're coming and what intensity they end up coming, is how that may affect our part of that journey. That may also have to be cancelled yet. So everything is a little bit play by ear at this point, and we'll see what happens and follow along today and see where our day ends up taking us. So unfortunately the slow leak didn't last very long after the repair. We got, how many Ks do you reckon we got down the road, Jay?
25. Yeah,
maybe about 25k down the road, and it started to show on the monitor that it was leaking again. So we've pulled over again, and he's shoved a heap more of the tyre repair tubes into the tyre. So we're just waiting for that to set. We'll re-inflate to our reduced pressures, because we've still got a fair bit of dirt road to get out first. And ideally it only needs to last us about 200k till we get to Alice, and then you can swap it out. Hopefully, we'll see. Stay tuned. So we've come onto the tarmac off Merinee Loop, and sorry, hang on a sec. Follow me. So we just come off onto the tarmac off Merinee Loop. We found a second hole in the tyre on the caravan that Jason had fixed. So he plugged that as well. Unfortunately, it's just not sealing. They're really cheap, crappy tyres that were on the caravan. And so we've managed to limp onto the tarmac section. And whilst I'm going around and just airing up all the other wheels, Jason's decided he's just going to take it off. We've got 2 spares, and put one of the spares on, and hopefully that will get us through now. None of the other tracks, to our knowledge, that we're going to be taking are anywhere near as harsh as what Merinee Loop was. So hopefully we should be okay. So right now I'm just filling up, as I said, the air in the rest of the tyres, and you can go around and have a look at what Jason's doing with Tony, replacing the other tyre.
Yep. Oh, yep.
Yeah.
It's like a new little pit crew, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Beat that.
Rattle gun would be a lot easier though. Save up for one.
Got that.
That was a fucking nut again. Oh, there it is.
Nah,
See it,
yeah.
see it, okay. Right there, that's yours. Right.
Yeah. A bit more?
Yeah, a little bit more. Me and that one. Right up, yeah. That one, please.
That's all right. Well, it was going to be another $250. It just sat in the car and did nothing, but it's actually come in handy, that jack.
Is that a new one?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Oh, sorry, mate.
after spending most of the day at Alice Springs today, we went in and found the tyre auto power in Alice, who were able to change over our friend's tyres for us and recommended a nice little pub down the road in the street. So we went and had a nice counter meal there, couple of beers while we waited. They only actually ended up taking probably maybe a couple of hours all up to do the repairs, and then we were able to get some supplies from Coles before we decided to move on. So I was able to speak to Mount Dare as well to see what the track conditions would be like. At this stage, with all the rain coming from the tail end of the cyclones coming over from WA, they have suggested that it's not a great idea to come down as yet. Wait and see if the rain's expected tomorrow. Wait and see what happens tomorrow. They have said that it's been known to be wrong, but at this point, if it does end up quite heavy, they could end up being closed in for 7 to 10 days at a time, depending on the amount of rain they end up getting. So not that they're expecting that may be the case, but because they're not 100% sure, they've suggested it's better to wait until after tomorrow and see what's happened. So our plan was that with one last ditch effort, we'd start to make our way down the Stewart Highway towards Kungala pub, where the turn off to Fink Road and into Mount Dare would be, that we'd need to take if we're going to end up doing the Simpson Desert, and just take our time, because we didn't leave until later this afternoon from Alice. We were going to drive until we thought it was good to pull over, and then we'll assess tomorrow. We are expecting the rains to start to come in tonight and during the day tomorrow, and we'll just sit and wait and assess what the roads and conditions end up being. So I found this really cool place on Wiki Camps that is off the Stewart Highway, and it's called the Henbury Meteorite Conservation Park. And you drive a little way in. It is a sort of a four-wheel drive dirt track coming in, and it's the site where 4,700 years ago meteors hit the earth and left 12 craters, and apparently there's a walk. So they've set it up as a camp area. There's a drop toilet, and they've actually designated out different parts that you can designate areas to camp in. There's a walk that's only about like half a k over that way that they say is the side of the craters. So we'll probably end up going and having a look at that tomorrow morning and seeing. Well, definitely you wouldn't come all the way out here and not at least go and have a look. So the sites are booked online. There is no internet reception, clever them, out here of course. So as soon as we've pulled up, we've got our trusty DCV airbase out, and immediately our Starlink has connected us to the world again. So these two devices have been our absolute godsend. They have been incredible. We found out a way to get into the advanced settings, so it's charging faster now through the Anderson plug point. At one stage we were having trouble with the point, and we bought the diesel generator as a backup, so we were able to charge that, and it charged really fast. And once it's charged, because we're not drawing a lot, Starlink doesn't draw much at all, then we just use some hair dryers and whatnot, straighteners if we need it. We've used the washing machine the other day in a packed campground, and it was super quiet, and it's just been absolutely amazing to have on this trip. And Starlink has really saved our bacon as well, with being able to keep in touch with weather patterns, booking camps online that are otherwise out of touch and not have reception, keeping in contact with family back home, like so many different situations that it's helped us out in. So we cannot highly recommend this enough. So that has been a brilliant purchase. So for now, we're just settling into camp. I've got a lasagna in the oven, which will be delicious when it's done. You can have I'll just show you, have a look around this camp area as the sun's going down and the clouds are rolling in. It's really moody, but the colours are absolutely beautiful. It's got this gorgeous like rock wall line as you come in, and there's only one other car that's pulled in over there that came in quite late too. Wow, that's a brilliant photo. Look at that magic. So we could be in for a bit of a woolly night tonight. We'll see what happens, and hopefully report to you in the morning without incident, and we'll see where we're going to head from there. Okay, catch you later.